Why is India so rich, yet so poor? Since the year 2000, India's economy has been one of the most rapidly expanding globally. It also has the fifth largest economy in terms of nominal GDP. But why, on the other hand, India is still so poor? So what are the reasons for the Indian good, economy, as well as the poor situation? Curious to know more? Well, stay tuned for that. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Having said that, let's get into the video. Why India's economy is rising faster than any other in the globe? India's GDP is predicted to increase from 7% to 7.5% in 2018 to 2019, making it the world's fastest growing. The administration said the rise was driven by structural reforms, including privatization, a new goods and service tax, and loosening foreign investment restrictions. Annual economic survey reforms during the previous year will allow real GDP growth to reach 6.75% this fiscal year and 7.0 to 7.5% in 2018-19, reinstalling India as the world's fastest growing major economy. India's GDP increased by 7.2% in the final quarter of 2017, topping China for the first time in a year, which climbed to 6.8%. The new statistics are a substantial improvement from last year, when the country witnessed its lowest growth rates in 3 years after the shaky rollout of a sales tax in July. India is an impoverished country with loads of catch-up potential. Therefore, it's growing swiftly. Many Asian countries have grown quickly following World War II. India's demographics are also strong. In many Western and Asian countries, the working age population is shrinking. In India, it's still increasing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's structural reforms since 2014 have also aided India's growth, he claimed. Privatizing the coal business, state-run oil companies and airlines, and introducing new taxes to fund infrastructure expenditure have helped sentiment and GDP, he added. When Modi came to power, he scrapped costly fuel subsidies that kept fuel prices low and consistent. Eliminating fuel subsidies caused the local gasoline prices to fluctuate with global prices, but it freed up money for infrastructure, he said. Modi replaced India's hodgepodge taxation structure with a goods and service tax. Smaller measures, including recapitalizing banks and easing limits on foreign investment in real estate, brokerage, and retailing, have also helped the economy. What are the persistent causes of India's poverty? According to the latest official count, 269 million Indians, 21% of the population, live below the poverty level. Before now counting, it was 396 million, 29%. The World Bank has put Indian poverty at 172 million, 12.4%, based on its new poverty benchmark of $1.90 per person per day using 2011 PPP statistics. That's tremendous poverty. In October 2015, the World Bank raised its poverty line from $1.25 to $1.90 a day. When the British departed India in 1947, 70% of its people were poor and a tiny upper class controlled everything. Despite multi-fold increase in population, from 2011 to 2012, poverty was 21%. Despite advances, 21% of poverty in a population of 1.3 billion is a large number. The World Bank aims to reduce extreme poverty to 3% by 2030. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, provide a holistic global development agenda, especially for disadvantaged countries. Societies can't advance if wrong class, caste, ethnic group, race or sex is excluded. If color and race-based prejudice hurt the West, the caste divide hurt India. Lower castes are excluded from upper caste ruled society. Outside villages and towns, they did unfit labor. It's mainstream society's worst rejection. Since 1947, attitudes have evolved, although lower caste populations aren't integrated. 70% of India's population lives in rural areas, where caste disparities persist despite education and prosperity. Mahatma Gandhi labeled untouchables Harijan, God's people. 170 million, 40% lower caste people are scheduled caste, SC. 8% of the indigenous population is isolated. ST people live in forests. Colonial British termed their habitations excluded districts, not for any special privilege but for colonial strategy. Indigenous villages remained separate and barely controlled after 1947 because free governments never sought to absorb them. Tribal poverty and poor governance contributed to the Maoist movement. It wants to forcefully construct a Maoist communist state. Naxals are India's biggest security threat. They're not linked to Pakistan's Islamic terrorist groups. Other backward classes may or may not be Hindus. They struggle economically like SCs and STs. The government modifies the list of OBCs primarily for political reasons. Therefore, their proportion is uncertain. OBCs make up 25 to 35% of the population, say experts. India's 50 to 60% population. Less than 1/3 of the population is upper class, but they dominate. This is it, everyone. What other factors affect our economy? Leave a comment and let us know. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. Also, put on the notifications because the next video is going to be a great one.